podcast waits for no one. As it is, I'm the only one here. So, welcome to the PPRC podcast. I am the host, Rero. It seems I am a one man show tonight because everyone did not come yet or they're late. And so, today's been a very busy week. In the recent news, they had Trump, who got shot at with oh boy, an AR-15 style rifle. Well, anyway, he sure dodged the shot pretty well. And we are in the middle of a heat wave, which sucks because I have to go outside tomorrow and drive in the heat and walk in the heat. Oh well. Seems like today is a very slow day. Tony is offline. Chu is AWOL. Green is late. Dead Set is being a dead set. And Alexi is offline. Question is, what do I want to talk about today? How to be a leader in a gaming community. Eh, online friendships. That's a big one because this entire Discord is based off online friendships. Topics: Artificial Intelligence AI art, best quotes, Chat GPT moments. No, let's make that a question for Chat GPT. The latest game I've been playing is Reverse Collapse, Codename Bakery. It's a turn-based hardcore hardcore turn-based video game in the Girls Frontline universe, and it's been pretty hard. Uh, the levels are pretty well designed, as well as the enemies scale up, and there's near infinite amount of variance, and the mechanics keep on growing. It's good for about 60 hours in, but that's just based on the game counter. Probably like 90, 80 hours, 70 hours if you don't count the reset, if you include the resets. Today on Steam, Once Human, now available free to play. What is that about? Once Human is a multiplayer open world survival game set in a strange post-apocalyptic future. Unite with friends to fight monstrous enemies, uncover secret plots, compete for resources, and build your own territory. Once you're merely human, now you have the power to remake the world. It's got mixed reviews for 22,000. For free to play, that's probably what you get. Similar to 7 Days to Die and Destiny 2. What? About the server player limit waiting queue. Oh boy. That's not fun at all. To go back to the Reverse Collapse Codename Bakery, it is a tactical RPG from the creators of Girls Frontline, which is 30 years in the future. And it is the original Mika team's first game, the original group. And they did a remake. And they made it even better. The 2D turn-based tactical RPG mystery, and it's hell lot of fun and hell lot of big brain. Wine shop items, patch notes. So, it had some controversy in the beginning, but that's not related to the game at all. That was because it was related to some other issue where Chinese players of the Girls Frontline 2 had issues with one of the characters, and so they review bombed the Reverse Collapse. It was so funny. Wow, the original game, codenamed Bakery Girl, was released in 2013, and now 11 years later, they remade it with even better graphics. Too bad there's not enough Girls Frontline characters in the game, but there's a lot of secrets and lore. Problem is the stealth is probably the most tedious part, and unfortunately, stealth is a big part of the game, though doing the battles are pretty fun. This guy said it took him 96 hours to complete his first playthrough, and he was playing the game on Challenger Plus. Jeez. As a seasoned SRPG player with over 2 decades of experience, I found the game's difficulty on Challenger exceptionally well polished. And the game's flaws, with the stealth missions being the common point of anger. Yeah, that's probably true. You basically brute force a stealth unless you know what you're doing. Movement and timing are generally relatively rigid. Making a mistake can cause you to lose the map more than a few turns. Yeah, I had some problems where just reset the entire map from start just to redo from scratch. Until I learned of autosave, and then I'm using that to reset more often. There are 61-ish missions and 40 hours of save scumming. Let's see here. No one is online. What is today? July 14th. And only Chu, who signed up for the podcast, is not even online. He might have been doing something else. Huh. Do I know this person? No, I don't. Seems like the group has kind of tired out Helldivers 2. Anson's playing it, but at his own pace. Uh, I wonder why he pubs. But then again, it's only a four-player game, and you kind of need four players, as Stu said, to tackle the harder difficulties. Shadow GX has been playing it. Well, was playing it. I don't know about now. I guess the hype has finally died for Helldivers 2. Or it's plateaued. It's $40 for a limited time hype. The problem with gaming nowadays is that there's just so many titles and so many games you can be fixed on. It all amounts to a lot of noise in which you have to be really selective about what you want to play and what you don't want to play because at the end of the day, you have a limited amount of time. Of course, when you play multiplayer and co-op, there's tons of fun until you, well, in our case, we've gone through several games over the course of a few months, and we are basically consuming games non-stop. This group is based off teamwork and cooperative gameplay. So first we had Sandstorm. Sandstorm was from Insurgency, and that was a good co-op game for tactical milsim, almost arcade. We've had other games like Ready or Not, which is a SWAT simulator, and in the end of that, that was very fun. And we developed several SOPs to make sure we can work together. But ever since I stopped playing, they haven't been playing as often, and we are reaching a point where it was kind of a struggle to get on, in a sense. And so when Helldivers came out, a lot of people jumped onto Helldivers too because it was fresh content. There was so many things to do with your friends, and it was like Deep Rock Galactic. You can salute, and well, it's like Deep Rock Galactic. What can I say? Shooting bugs for democracy. Let's see. We have zombie type games. We have simulator games. We have shooting bugs in space games. Literally Deep Rock, and I mean, it could be a lot of things as well. We also have some mini games like Broforce, uh, some arcade games like Overcooked, some free games like Muck, No More Room in Hell. That's a zombie game. Payday 2, never really got into it. Only put in 107 hours, but never mind, 33 hours. I put in 107 hours into No More Room in Hell. That was fun. A lot of hours into Space Engineers. So a simulator game. At the end of the day, there's only so much time you can commit to all these kinds of games, and unless you're really dedicated or you're running a a YouTube channel or platform to make content off these games, there isn't really the reason for the average player keep playing unless they're really dedicated. It's like Rainbow Six Siege had their latest update, which is the recruit update, and all these content creators are complaining that it's not enough content to get them to bring interest for the channel, and so it's affecting their monetization as well, which is their livelihood. 0 Hours, another cheap SWAT simulator game. Oh boy, the full release of 0 Hours now around the corner. Jeez, it was worth the $7. Uh, welcome, welcome. Hey,
I'll
Green.
take a win.
Hi.
When you said you're going to be late, you didn't say 20 minutes late.
Well, I didn't know how long it was going to be. Um, yeah. I think I hit a possum on the way here.
Jeez,
Yeah.
don't speak.
Raccoons. Well, raccoons came out, so I avoided them, and then I got back into my lane, and then there's just a possum in the middle.
Oh god, I'm hitting things here too in Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah. Country roads, man.
I kid you not, all these bunnies are running towards the road. While,
I know. I know. Yeah.
and then these birds are like flying towards my windshield, and twice has hit my windshield and kind of bounced off like missiles.
Yeah. It's yeah.
No, it's okay.
Some of them
I took a shower before this podcast, so I was also slightly a bit late. But I decided to start talking for about 20 minutes now to myself.
how did that go?
Talking about, well, you'll hear it next week when I publish it.
All right. All right.
if you uh if you want. So far we have no views on YouTube, and at least for the past few episodes, and probably no downloads on our podcast, but I don't really care.
Yeah. I mean, if you want people to see it, you gotta advertise it, you know?
Yeah, we'll have to the whole we'll keep improving on the way. That's the whole point. We're not going
Yeah.
to get an audience off the bat besides ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at YouTube Shorts, you'll see a whole bunch of podcasts. Some of them aren't real, but it's hard to put in a format like YouTube Shorts this because we're not in person talking into a microphone with cameras.
It's a lot of
So,
work, to be honest, for a podcast, even though I say it's not. Do you know why?
researching topics and it's just time commitment.
Well, that's one thing. I'm talking about the actual logistics and editing. So for me, I host it, I record it, and make the topics and do interviews. But there's other things as well which also help bring, you know, the viewer reach, marketing, and then there's the actual podcast episodes. Some podcasts have better timestamps for all the topics they cover. They have dedicated staff for, making the cover art, which is probably the thumbnail, most important thing of like why would you click on the same image if you don't know the content's about? So thumbnail is important, and description. I don't really type descriptions.
I would hate to put a description. I hate describing things.
Oh no, I made mine like 1 2 liners, so it kind of summarizes the highlights. But if I were to put in more effort to like re-listen to our podcast just to put timestamps in, that would take another hour or two. In addition to
Yeah.
editing and formatting it.
Yeah. I mean, here's a thought. I if you just give me questions, I could always just go down to the state capitol and I can just ask random college kids questions.
what kind of podcast would this be if it was
Or it would
if
not
it
not
was like
not
that?
for a podcast, but like a side thing. Maybe put it on YouTube Shorts or TikTok, some short format, and grow an audience sort of that way,
Yeah.
and that would attract them to the podcast. In theory.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see in a year if we get any
So, any
audience
topics?
topics. Well, since it's just us, since it's just you and I, why don't we talk about ourselves then? Unless you don't want to talk about yourselves.
Rara?
Yes. Am I breaking up?
I think you're cutting out a bit.
Great. Okay, I reconnected. How's that?
That's better.
I didn't do anything besides disconnect and reconnect.
Yeah, it's probably just the internet out there.
Yeah, I am on Wi-Fi to mobile data, so we'll see how that is.
So you're saying something about like a year or two? That's all I heard.
Well, we can talk. We'll see how this podcast goes in a year, and then hopefully it starts from there. Otherwise, I don't know. Well, we'll be we'll be like improving on the way. And then for today's
Yeah,
topic, just we can talk about ourselves, and since it's just you and I,
I love talking about myself.
yeah, I do want to
No,
ask you, uh, I guess, how are you preparing for your next stage in life, which is education?
me personally, if it's not like laid out in front of me, I'm not, it's hard for me to get around to it. So I've done my best to uh, prepare to enter college, like in the sense of, you know, doing the student aid, the FAFSA, you know what I mean. I want to
Yes.
say FAFSA, but that's not how you pronounce it anyway. Um, and other like I'll do that stuff and I'll pay attention to it, but I have not practiced or looked into um all the things I should be looking into to prepare, which is fine. It's school. They're supposed to teach me, but I could be preparing better.
What does that mean? You don't know what you're preparing for? Are you not signing up for classes? Are you not looking to like the resources you need to educate yourself better or find peers and professors?
So, last time I looked, they didn't have they had the books I needed listed, but they don't have other things like what I'll need or what's going to be taught. Like I don't even have concrete times for when it's going to happen, which is
So
fine because most of it's online, but
most of it's online. Jeez.
yeah, which is not something I wanted. I wanted to, go somewhere with people.
I guess that's the result of the pandemic. Like for my college, I stayed and lived there for 4 years, and we had like in-person classes. So this was before the pandemic. So nothing was online. But you're doing something different where you commute and you're like kind of
Yeah.
part-time.
I mean, the it's a technical college, and they don't have any dorms, so it makes sense for stuff to be online, but I'm better at learning in person.
Technically, I've been to two colleges. One was like part of my high school, where you can take some college classes.
Okay,
So,
Mr. Smarty Pants. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I'm not terrified, but not excited.
so are you like,
I'm stressed.
you don't sound stressed.
I never sound like anything. I'm great at masking.
If it's online, then you don't actually have to go to school, right?
One of the classes I do, but that's just 2 days out of the week.
Okay, so that's not bad. What about like extracurricular?
I don't know yet because I'll be working 32 hours while going to school. So
Right, just to get the minimum.
yeah, I think if there's gonna be study groups for my courses, then I would prefer to go to those. But
Yeah, I
la
get used to that.
yeah, it's when I looked, there were only like two people, uh, one for one in one course, one in another for the um study pals or whatever that they have. So we'll see. We'll wait and see. But since it's a technical college, I'm sure they're not my age. So I'm gonna be biased if they're older or not.
Well, college takes anyone. Like you can be, it doesn't matter what age you are. You can still go to college in
Yeah.
theory. Anyway,
How about you? What's after the boonies? What's up with you? We got planned.
Steam wants to restart. I'm just gonna restart Steam. Okay. Let's see. Well, it's been 2 weeks technically since I started, and tomorrow is well, early day as well, but not as early. They're adding some more things to do on the job, and the problem is tomorrow and today is very hot. Currently in the heat wave.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it.
It's really humid too. It's been raining.
Yeah. So I'm gonna figure that out. Uh, Not much really going on. Just visiting some coworkers' uh apartment and watching some movies. We watched Twister as well as The Big Year. I don't know if you know those movies.
No, not those ones.
Well, they're actually pretty interesting. Twister is about the tornado. It's like an pretty old movie about tornadoes in general. So
Yeah.
there's actually a remake which came out this year, so that's in theaters now. Tornadoes plural, and that's the sequel to the original, which was like 1996.
Hmm. Well, at least somebody's getting out in the world.
And then the other movie was The Big Year, which is I knew nothing about birding, but apparently there is a competition for birders in North America, and that is to count how many rare birds they can see in a year. That's why it's called The Big Year. So this comedy movie is about these birders trying to compete themselves to see how many unique birds in a year.
Hmm.
It has
Good for you.
it
Good
has
for you
some
for
like
watching it.
it has some like pretty good actors too. They're pretty famous. I don't like how they like we were like how they get him on the cast. I don't know.
You ever just constantly find yourself around yappers, people that don't stop talking?
Where'd this come
'Cause
from? But
I
the answer to that
I
is yes.
I keep finding myself talking to people. Um, but talking is a liberal word for it because they're talking at me.
Oh,
And
so you did like a chatty Cathy.
yeah, it's like 3 times this week, and I just don't know what to do about it anymore.
Well, I would say you have to set boundaries and you have to know when to interrupt. So if they don't let you interrupt, then you gotta tell them it's not okay. That
Yeah,
it's a two-way conversation, not just one way.
yeah. Surprisingly though, I visited my dad today because I had to pick up a suit for my brother's wedding, and somehow he started talking about politics, and we've never talked about politics before. But I was expecting him to interrupt or not let me talk as much, just because that's what I'm used to with with talking about my opinions. And yeah, surprisingly, I got to speak.
That's a fun that's a fun topic.
Yeah, it made me realize that not so great at speaking anymore. Forgetting all my words and my references. But I remember useless words, like verisimilitude.
What?
Exactly.
Well, you might know more words than I do.
Maybe, but I don't remember any of them. Also, I keep using words, and then people are like, "What does that mean?" And then I'm like, "I don't remember, but I know I'm using it in the right context."
So once you start taking classes, do you think you'll still continue the game, or you could be gaming even less now?
I mean, I haven't been gaming for the past like 6 months since I moved here, but I did get internet this week, so
Oh,
yeah. But classes start in late August, and I don't know. I am hoping that I won't game that much, so I focus more. But we'll see. If Dead Set is on, I know Dead Set knows more about specific things than me, so I might talk to him. But
oh, you think because he's in the field, you'll ask him stuff?
yeah, I mean, everyone knows more than you, and you know things more than other people. It's just how it works. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Oh, it looks like Chew's online. Let's see if he actually joins. 38 minutes later.
Yeah. Um. So how about that presidential assassination attempt?
Oh yeah, we could talk about that too. I thought it was very lucky he got whizzed in the ear. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I don't want to talk. I don't want to go into detail about the shooter. I want to just talk about the actual presidential assassination that
yeah.
failed.
I mean, you've obviously you've seen that everyone saw him except for the Secret Service. Um.
I saw the CNN video and I saw the part where Donald Trump like recoils in pain and it goes down. And then I saw a couple videos where people criticizing the Secret Service and claiming that they saw the shooter on a nearby building. So, and some stories about how the snipers were took too long to return to engage.
Yeah, I saw the video where like Trump is still talking about stuff and they're looking in the direction. So obviously, I assume they had him in sight, but they didn't fire for a while. But yeah,
To be honest, I didn't go into that much detail, But
I tried
honestly,
to,
it's
but
like a
I,
it's like a show almost, even though it's a serious thing. Like Donald Trump dodging a bullet or just lucky not to get hit.
yeah, I think a lot of people think that they don't think that it's staged, but it's like it's very convenient.
That's hard to stage. If you get hit, you're dead.
Yeah,
That's about it. Let's see how it affects the election, but I don't think it will.
I think it will.
You think it will?
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of conspiracy theorists saying that Joe Biden had something to do with it. And honestly, here's the thing. With the new Supreme Court ruling, even if he was involved with it, if it's part of a presidential act, um, it's legal. So,
And you can also spin it the other way, like Republicans who don't like Donald Trump trying to get rid of him, or it could be anything really. Could be
yeah,
the some foreign country.
could be.
Could be. I mean, the guy's dead, so we don't know. Can't ask him.
Wasn't he only 20?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't even get to vote for a president yet.
uh, it kind of reminds me of the game. It's on Steam. It's like Get Down as the President, where you have to. It's like a simulator where you just tackle the president and you just prevent the shot.
Yeah, I think I saw videos of that a long time ago.
I know it's a pretty old game now.
What was I gonna say? Shucks, I forgot. Once I heard the ruling about the Supreme Court saying that the president can do anything, I I I thought that Joe Biden should have pardoned his son just to prove of like how ridiculous that decision was. But yeah, I think it's a lost cause, this whole politics.
I don't know. It's like who's gonna die first, Joe Biden or Trump? At this point, it could be either or, the flip of a coin, and then we just go down the chain of whoever's party.
Yeah. Also, I would never assassinate anyone, but if I did, I'd use poison bullets.
Poison bullets.
Yeah.
Do you know how what's the distance from the podium and the shooter?
I forget, but it wasn't that far
200 meters?
around there, yeah.
Okay. Actually, no. Let's do a Ask ChatGPT. I have it up. What
Okay.
is the distance between the shooter and Trump? And the reason I ask because oh, never mind. ChatGPT is now real-time news and doesn't have the context and oh my god. Because it's like if it's 200 meters, you can probably shoot that armor pretty easily.
Okay. This CBS article is saying approximately 400 feet, so less than half a mile.
It's 400 feet is 121 meters. Geez, that's really close.
Yeah. I was thinking that this morning. I was like, I've shot people in video games further away in the head
Yeah, right.
while moving.
And this guy just happened to miss.
Yeah. I wish we could clown on the assassin more.
I want to see the setup. Like, was he like iron sights? That'd be
He was
crazier.
So from what I understand, he was prone on the roof, but the roof had a slant to it, so it would be hard for people to see on the ground. But there are law enforcement on the roof to the building behind the stage, so they should have been able to see him for sure,
Yeah. The only,
because it looked like the white rooftop where the
it's
law
like a
enforcement
it's like a
center
piece of
was.
paper. You should stand out, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's on an elevated, like the where the stage was compared to where the building where the shooter was. It looks like there's a higher elevation to the stage part. So I don't know.
121 meters is really close in terms of engagement.
Yeah, yeah.
And to think he missed is short of a miracle. And
Well, did he miss though? Like he shot his ear.
I assume he was going for the head.
So foolish mistake. You're supposed to go for center mass.
True. Should have gone for center mass. Just a rule of thumb. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Could have been the wind. Could have been the angle. Could have been his.
rookie fashion. I mean, Trump does turn his head a lot, so, but that's again, that's why you go for center mass. Not that we endorse any assassination attempts or violence at all,
Of course not. Of course not.
unless
Then when this podcast
unless
would
it's
be
in a video game.
demonetized and taken down. I mean, we've done some like VIP stuff in video games.
Yeah.
As in Arma, we set up a VIP and we try to protect that person.
So really, we're on the side of the Secret Service.
I guess it just this goes to show how far the Secret Service has fallen in terms of pulling security.
I think it shows more of like the divisiveness in the U.S., which is crazy to me because with talking to people about politics all the time, mostly people that I disagree with, we agree on a lot of things and they're just not happening. It's crazy. Like the better education, for one, um, raising teachers' salaries so that there's more incentive to be a teacher. Um, Also, just so there's more teachers, so students get prioritized more. Um,
Right. Teachers is
also,
big problem.
also, also the right to repair. Like everyone agrees that that should be a thing,
Right.
which is, yeah,
But it's mostly on a state level to be enforced rather than federal.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about like this whole federal and state laws. On the one hand, I wish that the states had more to them, just because I don't think that a, a federal government should, you know, be in control of everything. But also, um, you need these like cardinal rules or laws or whatever to be upheld. So,
Welcome to the PPRC podcast, part two. Chu shows
hello.
up 48 minutes past start, and
Yeah,
Green shows up 24 minutes past start too.
sorry. I forgot
It's okay.
that I was out.
It's okay. I was talking to myself for a good 20 minutes, making some bullshit up. If you want to listen, we can find next week.
Mm.
I actually do want to know because I tried to do a podcast by myself and it didn't go well. So I'm interested.
We were talking about how Donald Trump dodged a bullet, or was lucky enough to not get hit.
He is in fact Neo from the Matrix.
Have you heard you?
Yeah.
What's your Canadian perspective on it?
Uh, no opinion. Seems just like another day in the US. to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're wrong. I would not say you're wrong. There was like news of another shooting. I'm like, God dang it.
Just another day, an average day.
It's like we try to be civilized and intelligent, but all we have are idiots with guns.
Does this change any narrative?
Narrative for what?
Uh, anything
It's
with
definitely
politics,
gonna it's definitely gonna
gun
help.
control.
It's gonna help Trump be more, not necessarily popular, but less unpopular,
Yeah,
because now he is a victim of an attempt on his life, and so
designated
naturally,
survivor.
He's a victim of gun violence, mental health. I don't know. I really don't want to go into the shooter's detail because it's just like another manifesto I don't care about.
just another Pennsylvanian.
Yeah. But we were talking about the security and the Secret Service, how they've fallen.
Yeah, they messed up.
How would you have done security? Imagine it's like an Arma.
Well, from the point of reference, the stage basically look 360, and everything that you can see has to be checked out or sealed off in some way or secured. So someone didn't do their job, or they did it poorly.
Green tells me they had snipers on him, on the guy, and they
Yeah, so then like if this if one of the Secret Service snipers was able to hit him, then it's kind of silly because that means they already had line of sight.
they had line of sight. He put down at least 10 shots already.
Was it 10? I thought it was 5.
Okay, I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. Because how do you shoot 5 shots and nick somebody's ear?
Yeah, the counter surveillance was pretty terrible, I suppose.
Yeah. Like, we use drones in warfare now. I don't see why you can't use drones in you know,
The sad part
public
was that
safety.
two, now they say 2 dead after the assassination attempt, which means some two innocent bystanders passed away.
Yeah. I I think it was 2 died at the rally, and then I think 1 died in the hospital.
Well, it's 3 now?
It
Jeez.
could be.
So the people,
Obviously, this happened, recently, so all the news on it is weird,
Yeah,
and
but
there's
it's
a lot
gonna
of narrative.
be
behind Trump that got caught in the background.
I'm surprised all the comedians already have jokes about it, though.
so many memes, so many. I was sent a meme that like this Pokemon that looks like Donald Trump, which has like a cut in his ear, and so the meme predicted the shooting. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, let's change topics. I don't want to keep
Yeah.
talking about this. Chu,
Yeah, I was thinking about
what's
topics.
the latest game you guys been playing on the
Just
server?
Helldivers.
Still Helldivers?
Helldivers and still a lot of Sandstorm, which I don't want to play anymore.
You're still doing Sandstorm?
I only do it because the others do it. And the others do it only because Gogu does it.
Simps, all of them.
And I just don't want to play it at this point. Just so sick of it.
I've been playing a lot of is Zonzo, which is from the creators of Verdun. So it's like Battlefield.
Is it PvP?
It is, but
Mm.
I'm sure there's bot servers that I haven't gotten around to yet, and I think it'd be really fun to do as a group because it's very limited. Like almost all the classes only have like rifles, bolt rifles. So it's I think it's fun because there's no like tanks, there's no cars. You're just running up a hill and then you get shot from nowhere.
In my monologue today, I was talking about how we go through all these games every few months, and so essentially we are consuming games and then getting sick of them, like Chu said. So I just wanted to ask how you guys thought of Helldivers, since that's like the latest hot thing on the server and the gaming industry, and that's been like dying off slowly. Or not dying off, more like toning down.
Yeah, like I don't see it as a game that I play every single day, but once every few days is still fun. Because the core game is pretty much the same. You run around, shoot some bugs or robots, do some objectives, collect some samples, and evacuate. And that's the main gameplay loop.
Yep, it's basically like Deep Rock, except you're not mining, just shooting bugs and doing other things.
I think it's fun
Yep.
with a good team.
Yeah, I haven't played it that much, so I won't comment. Still level 8.
What level are you, Chu?
30, I mean.
I think Lucius was like 89 last time I
Yeah,
saw.
80 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of games would you guys be interested in playing though? Because I feel like recently a lot of games have been kind of based off the same models, like a lot of Battlefield type games, a lot of Deep Rock type games. Obviously, they're categories, but what do you guys want to see as far as like types of games? I think the most recent like new genre that I can think of is battle royale. But
Well,
do you guys
Battle
have any?
Royale's been out for a while now.
Well, yeah, but that's the most recent like new style of video game.
True.
Is there any types of video games that you guys would want to play?
Mm.
That's a good question. To reinvent the video game genre for FPS shooters and make it co-op based.
I mean, I think a lot of the games that are still around that have been out for a while are the ones that you can customize. So clearly, customability is gonna be something you'll need in a game. But I'm trying to think of like gameplay gameplay wise, what do you think would be good? I think there should be more less PvP games.
Yeah.
But
I know
that
PvP is kind of a lazy way of making games.
also a lot of slurs. Yeah.
I'd say the game with a lot of replayability is the one where it's all randomly generated, and so similar to Deep Rock and Helldivers 2. However, I would increase the amount of objectives. So, what was the other game that Rooftop used to play? Uh, 6 Days in Fallujah.
Yeah,
That had a lot of potential, but it was still so early out. And I mean, that's basically random procedurally generated architecture for player co-op, and all they need to do is just add different game modes. Right now they have 7 co-op missions, and they just need to like quadruple that or something like that.
what if we played more melee uh games like that? Like I think more DAO and other like old-timey games would be fun. But
I'm not a fan of melee games to be honest. I'm more into the well, I used to think that as long as the game had a gun in it, I could play it and enjoy it. But nowadays, not so much. But I still want some kind of projectile.
I mean, I just like running around and stabbing people, but
Oh, so you're a mass stabber.
that's me.
If you could design a game, Chu, how would you make it?
Mm,
At least for us.
mm. I'm thinking like it would be kind of like a GTA 5 sort of game,
A heist.
but then we're doing it cooperatively.
Yeah, I do wish there were more co-op story games.
You know,
So like
you
there
say,
there
yep.
used to be um like GTA 5 has this mod called LSPDFR, Los Santos Police Department First Response, whatever. Basically a police mod. And then there would be some like very, very serious servers that play together. And then they would like back each other up and stuff. And then all the call outs, like the robberies, shots fired stuff, those are like randomly generated. And those are tweaked with the mod. So the mod is actually single player at the beginning, like as its core, right? But then for those servers, then it would apply in a multiplayer context, or rather a co-op context.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then, I
Well,
mean, in that situation, it's like, okay, well, if you want to play it alone in that server, then yeah, you can just do your own stuff and not ask for help. But if you want to be like cooperative, then yeah, you could join other people, back them up, or be proactive and ask for other people to help you.
kind of reminds me of Payday 3, if you played that.
I played it 2
Well,
or
now
1.
there's a Payday 3.
But the problem with that game is that it's the difference between stealth and going loud is so like there's such a big difference in the game, the experience.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
the only thing that goes between stealth and loud is one mistake. That's literally it.
I
And
think
there's like no way to recover from it.
Payday 3 tried to fix that a little bit, but I don't remember. I didn't play the game.
I used to have fun with Payday, but I don't know why I just couldn't get back into it. Maybe because it's like too bullet spongy.
You mean when we
I
played?
think it, I'd replay it. I used to play it a lot. I used to play Payday 2 a lot. Um, but every time I try to go back into it, there's just so much that I forgot. I don't remember if there's a lot of key bindings, but just forget how to play it.
A heist game. That's something we never really got into besides Payday 2.
You want to start Payday 2 again?
No, I don't. But I do want to talk about Den of Wolves, which you may be interested in. An upcoming game by the creators of GTFO, who also made Payday 2. I posted the Steam page into Games to Play chat. Den of Wolves is a cooperative heist FPS where you and your friends operate as criminals for hire in Midway City, an unregulated innovation zone. So the genre is cyberpunk heist FPS. I don't know, but that's what it is. Hopefully it's good as GTFO. Made by 10 Chambers. It has some good music and visuals. So let's see here, going to the store page. A session-based cooperative heist shooter where you can make your mark whether you have 20 minutes or 2 hours to play. Plan and execute heists through industrial espionage, sabotage, theft, and assassinations. Gather your crew and decide the best approach, acquire weapons, gadgets, and intel, penetrate security systems, and execute the heist. I think what they're trying to do is compete with Payday 3 in a sense. However, put an interesting spin on it. So that's something to look out for.
What about Starship Troopers Extermination?
We can ask
I know
Anson about that.
it's kind of similar to Helldivers, but I don't know the lore. I guess the lore is different. The lore is different. The the reviews are like they say they're mixed. Um,
You can ask Anson about it.
I don't know how I feel about like just killing innocent aliens. Like
but
they're
it seems
protected.
like there's some base building involved.
Is there
What
no
about
base building in Helldivers?
The most you can do is call down sentries and minefields, and that's pretty much it.
what about golf with friends?
God. The only problem with Starship Troopers was that they only had a couple, like, 2 game modes at launch, and then it kind of died off. And then Helldivers came into play, and that was the only reason why Starship Troopers is now, I think, in the past. But it's still early access, so.
Just read a review. Retired Helldiver, full-time Starship Trooper, best career change in my life.
That's pretty recent. This other review says requires an Epic Games login.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that is annoying.
Oh, I still gotta finish reading the Starship Troopers book. I downloaded the PDF because I had to return to the library. I have been playing a turn-based uh, RPG game over the past few weeks, and it's pretty hard to like, but it's single player, so it's not really a co-op game.
Well,
How long do you think Helldiver is going to last you? 6 months?
For us, I don't know. I don't know. Like there's been times when I haven't played it for like an entire week.
But you still go back to Sandstorm, right? So
I don't play Sandstorm because I want to.
he gets roped in.
Yeah. Only because Alexi's playing it. And Alexi's playing it only because Gogu's playing it. And Gogu for some reason is just addicted to it. I want to play more Arma though, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we did buy some expansion packs.
Like there are some escape maps that are quite short to complete. Yeah.
You just like the escape aspect, right? You can play anything else with Destiny. No, the other modes too.
They have the anti-Stassi move, but I don't really like anti-Stassi. Not a fan of like permanent uh like base building, resource acquisition.
I did want to get into Zeus, which means you could run your own operations, and then basically that would be infinite operations and plan your own game mode essentially. They only made Arma, but less clunky.
Yeah. I like playing on Zeus servers, and I've tried to figure out Zeus, but I never got the hang of it. But I like the whole designing your own mission is fun, especially when you're playing with people that you know, because then you know what people like and what people don't like. You can tailor missions, and then you can just have a whole bunch of snipers focused on Tony, just make him stay mad.
He's gonna start popping smoke. If you actually go back to the one of the other games we played, Operation Harsh Doorstep, that was a free game. That was like, but it was still too early access, and but you could do a lot of custom stuff with it. I want to see how many updates it got. Last update was May 2024. Oh, they added a Starship Troopers mod to the Operation Harsh Doorstep. It looks pretty fun. Unfortunately, it's free, so all of it's community based.
I just saw this one game called Once Human, which is free to play.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Is that something you guys would consider doing?
Mm, it was mixed reviews, right?
It's mixed, yeah.
I would actually want to get back into like the SWAT genre, so or operator genre. And so this game called Body Cam looks pretty cool. Have you
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
have you seen that?
Yeah. Were there bad reviews about it at launch?
Uh yeah, just servers. But they turned it around. Now it's positive.
I'm not sure if I like the fish eye kind of camera.
Mm,
Are you guys more of like a realism preferred kind of game, or do you like um more moderate gameplay?
I'll answer first. So I used to play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, which is like, well, I'll say I started with the arcade and fast-paced shooters, but as I got older and developed more, I tended towards the more realism and slower paced because I felt it was harder in a way. So less reaction time and big plays, more think and act and plan and act.
So you're more of a skilled base player than a fast kind of kind of a thing.
Uh, yeah, there's only like I used to play really fast in Insurgency as well. We just go in there and try to click on so many heads as you can. And to a point, it was fun, and it does help you build your skill. But I think I got tired of that.
Yeah, I don't like games where I die in one shot.
You don't like the
Oh,
the realism?
yeah, I mean, well, with Izanzo, like if you get shot in the leg, you'll die instantly. Um, it, it it's fine, I think, for that kind of game style where it's like you're defending and rushing, but if it's like a slower paced game when you get shot once and die, you know, just makes it feel like a chore to play.
Well, you have to treasure your virtual life.
No, I live in reckless abandon.
Okay, well, you're young, you can do that.
Yeah,
Younger. Would you play Body Cam Jew?
I'm reading the reviews. I'm
Okay,
not convinced.
not convinced yet.
It seems like it's a tech demo more than an actual game.
I definitely don't think my computer could run it that well.
Oh yeah, gotta save for the upgrades.
I'm saving for college.
Well, I just want more storage and more RAM, then I have a good PC technically for another 5, 7 years.
I think I still only have 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Wow. No wonder it takes so long for your games to load.
Yeah.
No, that's because you have a hard drive.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm playing
I don't know.
my game on my old Ultrabook, and it's like the thing is so hot. It's also like low graphics because integrated graphics. I just missed my graphics card. All right, well, time to end the podcast then.
Alright.
My apologies for all the blank spaces that you'll have to edit out.
Oh, I won't because Audacity has a feature that allows me to automatically do that. But for the video, I'm just gonna leave it so that will have the pauses.
Okay.
And I will ask either of you to bring a topic next time. Otherwise, I can bring a topic as well.